Good morning, Tom Ginn. G is for G-Force. Gratitude. I'm so grateful for this moment because how we look at this moment determines the outcomes of our life. We've got to believe. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about some more principles out of the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And one very simple law, the law of belief. And I'll cover that here in a moment. But before we get going this morning, I just want to thank everybody that sees this either on the live or on the replay. Hey, tag and share. I'm also looking to increase my subscriptions on my YouTube channel. If you can help me out there, that would be great. The link, there's a bit.ly link there, and then you can subscribe to the channels and get your notifications. So with gratitude in advance, thank you much for helping in that area. But before we get into today's short lesson, I'd like to, make an announcement who's coming on Friday. It is a wonderful young man. He's recently written a book. Here it is. Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. The how-to guide to change anyone's life. He just recently published this book, became a #1 best-selling on Amazon. I got his book, and I tell you what, he's hitting home runs, the best way I describe it. These are principles that I've applied, I've learned to apply in my life, and to continue upgrading my circle of people and influencers, because that's the secret. Change your life by changing your circle. That's not the title of the book. Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. This is the young man that's coming on right here. This is a poor picture with the pixelation. I do apologize, Jamar, if you're catching this, but there he is. Great smile, great attitude, and I'm excited to have him on Friday. Now, that's going to be 7:30 Central Time. 7:30 Central Time. So turn on your notifications. I know on the East that's early for a lot of people. So turn on your notification. You don't want to miss this conversation with Jamar. So with that all said, let's jump in today's lesson. Gratitude, as stated, is I believe it is the mortar between the bricks of life. Gratitude. Being grateful for everything, even when we have adversities, even when we have challenges, it gives us a different perspective. It changes the energy. It changes our emotional state by tapping into good. Even in a bad situation, a loss of a loved one, for example. We did some study about gratitude works and how to use gratitude and not focus on the loss, but focus on what that person brought to you, the goodness, the blessings, and be grateful that they were an influence in your life. Because everybody has something in their life that we can be grateful for. So G-Force. But today, there's some, the universe operates by law. And lots of times people recognize that. We recognize in the physical sense, you drop your pen here, gravity always works. In chemistry, if you change a molecule or you do this or do that, you always get the exact outcome. Well, your thinking operates by law. And Monday, we talked a little bit about, this concept of thinking and believing has been around for thousands of years and is carried up to this point. Now we're just become more sophisticated. We back things up with science and we justify those things through facts, but your thinking operates by law. It operates by law. That's why if you're out of sorts, it's operating by law. Something's out of order. Maybe your emotional state that day is not as positive as it can be, but you can change that instantaneously. In that you can change, and that's law. If you do X, Y, Z, you're going to get a result. If you're angry right now, you can change being angry instantaneously by a new thought. And that is law. That's not happenstance. That will always work the same way. But keep in mind, your mind only holds one thought and one picture at a time. So if you're angry and you're upset or that emotional state, you can switch it instantaneously. You can change it instantaneously. And that's what I coach on. I coach on principles that Bob Proctor has been teaching for nearly 61, 62 years. It's changed my life, and it's changed a lot of other people when I coach them, is understanding thinking into results. Thinking into results. Your thoughts dictate the results. And we're not talking the conscious thoughts, the knowledge base, the reason thought. Those are things important, but what is really controlling you at a deep level is the subconscious, the emotional why. And so you can track back any result in either short term or long term, and you can actually see what was the thinking. On Monday, we talked about healing, the healing power of thought, the miracles that have occurred. And science today has supported that all the way down to the cellular level. You can change the chemistry and all that by changing your thoughts and make those cells healthier and make them do what they're supposed to do. That's where miracles come in. There's been miracles through history. There's miracles going on today. So it really is going to come down to your thinking. And so we talked about the healing aspects of positive thinking. There's only one process of healing. In the universe, whether you're a human being, dog, animal, plants, or whatever, they are all operating on law. And XYZ happens. So we operate, and we can look at nature as a great example of how the law operates. But our thinking, we never really take a good hard look at it. And I'm going to start today with a very, very important thing, the law of belief. The law of belief. As a man thinketh, so he becomes. What do you think about most of the time? Do you believe? That's an emotional attachment to a thought. Do you believe? The law of belief. And in religion, we're not talking just on the religious principles and the forms of belief, but we're talking about the law of belief. What do you believe about yourself? About yourself. That's self-image. And all psychotherapists and all psychologists will reaffirm this. You can't outperform a belief, interesting, and your self-image. You can't outperform them. So whatever that has been programmed to do, that's where you're going to perform. That's where you're going to stay stuck. That's why in this book that we're bringing in here, if you want to change your life, you got to change your thinking or change your circle. You've got to believe and make changes in your belief. So what do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about life? What's your gift? What is your purpose being here? What do you believe about life? And what do you believe about the universe? When I say the universe, that might be the higher power, the person who you pray to, your faith, all those things. And as we believe, so you become. It is done unto you as you believe. What are your first thoughts? What do you think about the most? Those are the outcomes. That's law. We talked about this earlier. Is the average person has 6,000 to 12,000 or more thoughts a day, and 80% of them or more are negative. So if that's the thought process, the results are going to be negative. I can't, all those different negative beliefs. So reframing your thinking is so important. And gratitude is a stopgap. It's the switch that when you go to a place of gratitude, it changes the energy. And then you reframe your thinking to get a different result. And in Mark, this is scripture, and I believe the Bible has some, when we really look at it, besides just a religious manuscript, but really look at the words and really look at the meaning and how does that apply? And in Mark 9:23, and I'm just going to read this. If thou canst believe, if you can't believe, is what it says, all things are possible to you that believeth. So if you believe it, all things are possible. Now you got to work within the law. I always use this as an example in my coaching to having a realistic fantasy or belief system. Tom Ginn wants to fly like a butterfly. Well, by law, that's not going to happen. I don't have wings. I'm 250 pounds. That is not going to happen physically by law. But my creativity, and if I believe I can create a contraption that looks like a butterfly, flies like a butterfly, I can get in that and experience how a butterfly flies. See, all things are possible, but we have been programmed. And where did you get your beliefs? I always ask that question. Where did that belief come from? And when you track it back, it's either going to serve you in a positive way, you can build on it, or it's that belief is holding you back. It's a paradigm. Old paradigms don't work. You got to find those things that don't work and change them and start believing differently. Shift your thinking, shift your paradigms about yourself. See, we don't, I can't say we don't. There are people that do this, and then it's a sad situation with suicide and stuff. But, it's foolish to believe in something that's going to hurt or harm you. We don't go out of our way to think about, I want to get in a car wreck today. Not as you have some other deep-seated emotional thing going there, but we don't think about harming ourselves. We think about what? Bettering ourselves. So it's really important to understand some of these prisms. The results we're getting collectively in life, where you are today, is a collection of thoughts, experiences, attitudes that have gotten to you where you are today. And we can say, oh my gosh, fill in the blank. This is magnificent. Oh, I want something different. It's not working. So you've got to change your belief systems in relationship to the outcome you have. Do you believe? Can't outperform a belief, and you can't outperform your self-image. So that was my thought today. It's a very powerful thing. You got to have faith. Faith and fear have two common things: the unseen. We have to have faith that outcome we seek, and even though we can't manifest it, but we have to have faith that the sun's going to come up tomorrow. We have faith that we're going to succeed. We have faith, and then we believe, and the believing creates the actions that will demonstrate the results. Not happy with results? Change your thinking, change your beliefs, change your emotional attachment to the outcomes that you seek. So first thoughts will always tell you which direction your bus is going. So I hope this lesson today brings you some new awareness. Tag and share your friends. And again, turn on your notifications, 7:30 Central Time. Jamar Jones. Change your circle, change your life. I've applied these principles throughout my entire adult life. And I've elevated when my self-image wasn't good and belief about myself wasn't good. I stayed in circles that weren't beneficial to me. And I've believed I'm more capable. I believe I'm worthy to be in the next circle. And if you believe that as well, everything in your life will start changing. I highly encourage you to get this book. We'll be talking about the principles on Friday. So turn on your notifications. Thanks much, everybody, for being here today. Share, tag, make comments. If you ever want to have conversation, on my calendar link, you can go right here to my link tree, Aduca group. My calendar's there. You can reach out to me, schedule a call or a Zoom call, whatever the case may be. I'd be glad to support you any way I can. So with that all said, I'm so grateful for this moment. We'll see you on Friday.